What are your weaknesses? What would you say is your weakness as an individual? This is one common HR question or interview question that you may face in your next interview. And it is important you understand how to answer such questions to ensure that you will be able to be selected for the job. But the question you have to ask yourself is, why is the HR panel interested in identifying or knowing about your weaknesses? Is it not said that, oh, don't focus on people's weaknesses, but focus on their strength? Yes, you can say that, but it is important we know what your weaknesses are. So there are three reasons why HR panel employers will want to find out what your weaknesses are. Number one, whether you have a healthy level of self-awareness. Self-awareness is very crucial. And it is only a fool who does not know who he is or she is. So when a panel asks you, what are your weaknesses? They want to find out, do you really have a healthy sense of awareness of yourself? Do you really know who you are? So I have met some people who are like, oh, I don't have any weakness. I'm like, oh, really? You don't have any weakness? Everybody does. So that is the first reason. Two, whether you can be open and honest, particularly about your shortcomings. Can you be open and honest about your shortcomings? Nobody wants to talk about their weaknesses. Everybody wants to shroud their weaknesses, put it under the carpet. Don't let people hear about it. But the HR panel want to find out, can you be open? Can you be transparent? Yes, you have a level of awareness of it, but will you be comfortable talking about your weaknesses? Talking about your shortcomings. Then number three, whether you pursue self-improvement and growth opportunities to combat these ideas as opposed to letting these weaknesses hold you back. So one, you have sense of self-awareness. Two, you're going to be transparent to talk about your shortcoming. But three, what have you done as you identified that as your shortcoming, and how is that helping you to become successful? These are the three reasons why that question is going to be asked by an HR panel. So when they ask you, or when you are asked, what are your weaknesses? Remember, these are the three things they are looking for. Do you know yourself? Are you transparent enough to talk about your weaknesses? And three, have you done anything about it to solve it? So how then do you answer such a question about what are your weaknesses? There are about 5 things that you have to take into consideration when trying to answer these questions. I'm going to provide you with that framework to help you to be able to answer that. Number one is choose a weakness that will not prevent you from succeeding in the role. There are a lot of weaknesses you might have had as an individual, but you have to be careful that you intelligently select a weakness that does not put you in a position that even though your certificate says you are good, your experience says you are good, because of your weakness, you may not be able to get a job. So choose a weakness that will not prevent you from succeeding in the role. Number two, be honest and choose a real weakness. Don't try to be anything. Don't try to make up something. Be honest and choose a real weakness. Because remember, one of the things that HR experts are looking out for as they ask you that question is your level of honesty, how transparent you are when talking about yourself. 3, demonstrate self-awareness and an ability to look to others to provide you with the resources necessary for growth. That is a key thing. 4, provide an example of how you've worked to improve your weakness or learn a new skill to combat the issue. So let me give you an example. Let's say that your weakness in the past has been that you cannot tolerate people's reaction when you give them a responsibility. So you are in a leadership role and you have a lot of subordinates. And so if you give people a role and they miss the deadline or they don't submit it on time, you cannot tolerate them. So you have a poor communication skills to letting people know and motivating people how urgent something is that they must do. So you end up talking to them anyhow, and so you don't have good personal relationship. That could be a true weakness. But if that is a weakness, what have you done? Oh, maybe you've undergone some therapy or you've attended workshop, and then gradually now your colleagues from their previous job are comfortable with you and they are willing to work with you because you have learned how to talk with them so that they understand what you are trying to tell them. Give an example, because that is what is going to be showing that you have improved yourself. Then, number 5 is don't be arrogant and don't underestimate yourself. Do not be arrogant. It goes back to what I said earlier. People will say, oh, I don't have a weakness. I don't think I have any weakness as an individual. No, you do. So don't appear to be arrogant. Don't think that you don't have any weakness. No, you do. In your weakness, show some level of sense of awareness. Be transparent about it. But most importantly, demonstrate to the panel how you have developed, improved yourself, and how that weakness has even strengthened you so that you can become a better version of yourself and ensure that the company achieves its intended objectives at the end of the day. That is how you approach questions relating to what are your weaknesses, or what would you consider as your core weakness as an individual. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this, and if there are any other questions or any other things you want me to share my thought on, also put it in the comment section. Remember to share the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure that you let me know what are the topics you want me to share my thoughts on, and I will share with you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.